Alright, so this video is going to be a review on Hiroshima, Mon Amour. And I'm just going over my notes, so if everything's a little scattered, that's why. And first and foremost, I just want to kind of breeze over some general, like, editing notes that I took. And something that came to mind first and foremost was, like, so to kind of hone in on the sex scenes in particular, because that's one of the first things we see. It's something we see intermittently throughout the film, where like these lovers are just kind of like reminiscing, and it comes back to that scene and that scene, and we really have a short depth of field when we're watching these two characters in this action. We get a long length lens when there's a focus on the survivors. There's a deep focus on the actress's face in certain scenes in the film. Framing of the couple talking to each other. There's a particular scene I'm thinking of where the male lead has his back to the screen, and then the female, you can see her face. His body takes up half of the screen, whereas her body, which on the right-hand side, and then her body takes up the left-hand side, a quarter of that. She's probably got about, like, from the top of her head to her chest, she's probably got half of the actual screen in height, which takes up a total of like, a fourth of the screen space, whereas his whole back of his body takes up like half of the screen. So that was just something interesting frame. The majority of this film is consistent of medium shots of characters conversing. So when the couple are talking, those are some medium shots of them engaging in conversation, which is pretty typical of characters, having conversation. When we're looking at the bombing victims of Hiroshima, we're getting these long shots that are kind of like almost spying, kind of like looking at the aftermath and assessing it. Their love kind of reminds me of the movie, I'm not remembering it right now, but it's with the actress, and I believe he was a writer. It took place in the 60s. It was a French film. And, needless to say, the actress, she died in the car accident at the very end. It reminds me of that movie as far as their relationship is concerned. It's complicated. It's different paths that are kind of, trying to coincide, and then you've got the infidelity and the going behind people's backs and much of the pillow talk. I think that this movie doesn't really seem to say that we are so much as defined by our past and what has happened to us, but that we are a product of our past. We don't have to be prisoners to things that have happened, and we shouldn't be. I don't think that we choose to forget things. I don't think that's possible. Instead, I feel like we try to put certain memories aside, and that's kind of what these characters are doing. They're trying to set their memories, their past, keep them in the past. And you can't run from a never-ending past. I mean, there's just so much that we want to, take back, but it's obviously not possible. And I will personally remember the film for the fact that she had a relationship with a Nazi, because that is a hard pill to swallow.